The experts did not leave as they were discussing what to do next. At the same time, they were waiting for the warriors who had entered to hunt the demon beasts. You guys better hurry up. Demon and Devil Realms' group will quickly occupy this place. This transmission array cannot be used by them, Xianxia said. But Leader Lei hasn't come out yet. We haven't seen him and his 3 disciples. An old man said. Thunder Heaven School and his 3 disciples had already been killed by Xianxia, so they naturally would not come out. Xianxia casually said, Then you guys can decide. I'll be leaving first. Just as Xianxia stepped into the transmission array and was about to open it, he said to the rest of them, You all hurry up and leave. When Xianxia was inside, he could not use the Luotian gate to open the spatial tunnel, and the principle of the transmission array was the same. If the space was not stable and they tried to teleport by force, the consequences would be dire. Xianxia activated the transmission array and returned to the Super Martial School. At this moment, the entire Super Martial School and the outside Heaven Door City were shrouded in panic. Although the passageway did not appear, the Great Devil Mountains was emitting an extremely strong demonic aura, and the news quickly spread throughout the Chun Martial continent, because this was the prelude to the opening of the tunnel. Furthermore, a few experts of the mortal martial realm were gathered here, discussing on how to retreat together. The Great Devil Mountains was very close to the Devil Continent, and the warriors who cultivated in the evil way had long retreated, because they were now respectful to the demons, and worried that they would be exterminated, and had no choice but to behave themselves and join forces with the righteous sects. Great Devil Mountains and Devil Continent were both very close to the shore. They used to be the most intense place among the great war between 3 realms as above, because this was the place that was connected to demon and devil realms. Xianxia was currently high in the sky, looking down at the distant region shrouded in black fog. Looks like it's going to be soon. Such a dense demonic aura means that a small opening has been opened in the space. Some demons should be coming. Bai Yu said. This was not the first time Xianxia had come to the Great Devil Mountains. This time, he indeed felt a very strong demonic aura from the people here, which was the same as the one he felt in the ancient spirit Great Land. The demon passage that is connected to the ancient spirit Great Land is the headquarters of the demon and devil realms. The world at the heart of the demon realm is extremely powerful. I wonder how long this fierce battle will continue for. Bai Yu sighed. Xianxia returned to the Super Martial School, waiting for Gu Dongchen and the others to return from their meeting. During that time, he had refined some pellets, especially the healing antidote, because the demon and devil realms' and evil demons' use of poison was best at it. At this time, the various worlds all knew that the great war between 3 realms was coming, and Dan City was even more crowded. Many warriors had spent their entire life savings to buy life-saving pellets, but at this point of time, the pellet stores were running out of supplies. The Super Martial Profound Realm had already opened up some areas and built many houses. If the Chun Martial Continent were to fall, the Super Martial Profound Realm would become a refuge, and at that time, as long as the doors to the Profound Realm were closed, the demons would not be able to come in. The group of big shots in Mortal Martial Realm had already been in a meeting for 3 whole days, and upon Gu Dongchen and Wu Keiming's return, Xianxia immediately went to look for them. Junior Master, the situation is very serious. Although the various powers have agreed to send people to guard the Great Devil Mountains, there are not many people who would let go. Furthermore, there are some powers that are pessimistic and think that they will not be able to defend the Great Devil Mountains. Gu Dongchen sighed. How can they think that? Didn't they successfully defend it 100,000 years ago? Xianxia said. He paid a very heavy price to successfully defend it 100,000 years ago. Fortunately, there are a few powerful forces in the continent of the king that are willing to send extra people. I wonder if there will be any warriors willing to join when the time comes. Wu Keiming said. Xianxia thought for a moment, then said, You and the other big shots of the Chun Martial Continent should discuss this with each other. Using the demon's head to exchange for a spar, this can motivate many people to join. After all, killing demon and demon beasts are the same. They all need to take risks, but you all need to have enough spar to buy the demon's head. This is a good idea. The spar are not a problem. We big sects have a lot of them. Wu Keiming laughed, but Gu Dongchen could only lament. As a leader, he had to bleed a lot of blood. Oh right, Lu Menger didn't participate. She only sent an elder over. What is she busy with? This is the time. Gu Dongchen said. Xianxia was Lu Menger's man, so he believed that Xianxia definitely knew about it. Lu Menger and Dongfang Xinyue were researching about how to create a profound realm. If they succeeded, then this would be exciting news. To deal with demons, the power of the divine weapon's heavenly country was essential, because the divine weapon's heavenly country had many weapons. The majority of the disciples in the divine weapon's heavenly country were excellent experts in laying out formations, and all of them were extremely armed warriors. I'll go take a look. Recently, she has been researching very powerful formations, and she has been preparing them for the great war between three realms. Xianxia also wanted to ask Xianxia about the relationship between him and Lang Yulan. This was an important place and also the place where Lu Menger refined his artifacts. Xianxia had once been to this place, allowing Lu Menger to use her white jade dragon cauldron to refine his flesh. Xianxia was unable to find Lu Menger in the house, so he could only come here and feel the scorching aura. He knew that Lu Menger was currently inside. Xianxia entered from a cave and arrived at the belly of the mountain. He saw an incomparably large jade cauldron that was giving off hot air, and on top of the jade cauldron there was a circular stone platform. They're making array discs, Su Meiyao said. Seeing that Xianxia had arrived, Lu Menger and him floated down. So this is how the array disc is made. This is the first time I've seen it. Xianxia exclaimed as he looked at the huge stone platform floating above. This is only the beginning. Moreover, what you have seen is only the first level. The array discs that we will be creating will be 108 layers. When the time comes, they will be compressed together. As Lu Menger spoke, he helped her to wipe the sweat off her jade face. 108 levels? Are all array discs like this? Xianxia was shocked. How much time and effort was needed for this to happen? Of course not, ordinary array discs can only go from 1 to 10. What we create are array discs that can create profound realms. Dongfang Xinyue laughed. Lu Menger asked, "What urgent matter do you have for us? We are very busy right now, and we want to get the profound realm out as soon as possible before Great War between three realms starts." Xianxia also wanted a profound realm of his own. How grand was that? But he knew that Lu Menger and Dongfang Xinyue needed it more than him, so he did not speak up. "I just want to ask about Xianxia and Yulan's situation. Have they started their tribulation?" Xianxia was very worried about this. Their strength is already pretty good. Moreover, with your help, they should be able to successfully cross over. When the time comes, they will be in the nirvana stage. It will be safer there with a little profound realm. Lu Menger said. Xianxia nodded, then pointed to the gigantic floating disc, and asked, "Can this kind of profound realm be mass-refined?" "Of course not. The ingredients for this formation plate were accumulated over the years by Menger and I, and they were all used up in one go. If there are a lot of ingredients, Menger and I might be able to quickly refine them in the time formation of Icy Wind Valley." At this time, Dongfang Xinyue had a very good understanding of Lu Menger's situation. There was a small profound realm in the Icy Wind Valley, and there were time formation-s inside, but men were not allowed to enter this small profound realm. After Xianxia left the divine weapon's heavenly country, he started thinking about how to obtain these ingredients. The reason why these ingredients were so scarce was because it was difficult to create an array in the mortal realm, so most of the time, it would be in a higher realm. At the entrance of the super martial school stood a group of robust men wearing white robes with a black moon painted in the middle. Seeing these servants, Bai Yu's voice carried doubt in it as he said, "These are the Black Moon Guards of the Devil race. They have a very high status, and even the Demon Eye race has to be respectful to them. Why would they appear at the entrance of the super martial school now? Were they here to negotiate? Since when did the infernal domain become so formal? What? Is this guy from the demon world?" Xianxia immediately rushed into super martial school, only to see Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming conversing with a middle-aged man wearing black armor. When Xianxia came in, the middle-aged man immediately turned and looked at him. Although he released a sharp killing intent, he could not scare Xianxia. Beside the middle-aged man, there was a man wearing the same black armor. The handsome face of the man had a light smile, but there was killing intent in his eyes, as if he had a deep grudge with Xianxia. Inside the ancient spirit great land, did you injure 5 of my subordinates? The young man asked. Those 5 people of the Devil Eye clan were actually the underlings of this youth. This caused Xianxia to be extremely shocked. One must know that the strength of the 5 demonic eye race members were not bad. After all, their superior was a nirvana stage. There's no other way. I was forced by them. Xianxia spread his hands. Xianxia, to be able to cause the ancient wasteland devil sect to issue a devil god command is not disappointing. To think that it could actually injure my 5 capable subordinates in such a short amount of time. The young man said indifferently. Hearing the 3 words, devil god token, Xianxia couldn't help but have a headache. When he destroyed the devil god altar, he didn't know that he had angered that fierce guy, and that's why he was issued with the demon god token. What should come will eventually come. Xianxia laughed bitterly. We are not followers of the ancient desolation demon god, so the demon god token is useless to us. The tall, middle-aged man in black armor said. These devil realm people actually did not have any malicious intent, and they were even so reasonable, which was a little hard for Xianxia to accept. Then what is your purpose in coming here? Xianxia frowned and asked, making him puzzled. We are here to warn you. Our ancient spirit great land will definitely not participate in any battles. So please do not involve us in any battles. If not, don't blame us for being rude. The middle-aged man said coldly. If you cripple my 5 subordinates, I will remember you. The young man smiled, but it was full of killing intent. Xianxia was also not to be outdone. He coldly laughed and said, if you have the guts, get it back now. I'll accompany you anytime. When that time comes, you can accompany your 5 subordinates to be crippled. You! The young man was slightly angry, then snorted and walked out of the super martial school. The tall, middle-aged man coldly shot Xianxia a glance, and followed suit. This devil race of the ancient spirit great land was the strongest, and now he actually wanted to tell others that they would not invade the human world. Xianxia did not believe their bullshit. If the demonic people of the 3 realms fought to the end and suffered a great loss to their vitality, the demons above ancient spirit great land would be able to easily rule this 3 realms that had been fused. They sure are brave. Aren't they afraid of getting attacked by that crazy old man? Xianxia curled his lips and said, these kinds of people are really insidious. According to what I know, they are the strongest powerhouses in the world of demons. Don't worry, I'm better at scheming than you. We will be on guard against them, but little martial uncle, that ghost demon god token seems to be much stronger than the 10 billion bounty. You should just hide. Gu Dongchen said. His worries were not without reason. Maybe some of the followers of the demon god would sneak into the Chun martial continent, also that they could kill Xianxia. Xianxia laughed. Don't worry, when I have to hide, no one will advise me. I will hide, and at that time, other than myself, no one will be able to find me. The great war between 3 realms was a very good chance to train himself. Xianxia had learned so many demon-subduing arts, and he also had a green dragon demon-slain broadsword. If he did not display his power, how could he face all these? In this new world, it seemed as if only the ancient spirit great land's passageway had been opened, and many powerful forces had received the devil race's warning. That devil race would not engage in any battles, and would obediently stay in the ancient spirit great land. If there was anyone who would disturb them, they would definitely take action. Although the devil race said this, no one trusted them and they were all on guard. When the news of the ancient spirit great land passage's opening spread throughout the new world, the panic in the new world grew even more intense. Junior Master, the situation in Great Devil Mountains is very bad. Now every force has started to send their people. They have to send the 20 elite disciples to take the lead, and I will take the lead in Super Martial School. Wu Kaming said. Am I part of it? Xianxia asked anxiously. No, but there are Yun Xiaodao and the others. The reason why we did not let you go is because we agreed to it during the meeting, because you were too good at stirring up trouble and did not follow the arrangements. At that time, all of the sects would cooperate with each other. Wu Kaming said. Xianxia snorted in annoyance, and asked, Then can I go there myself? Wu Kaming laughed. It's not impossible, but you must not cause any big things. When the warriors found out that the demon's head could be exchanged for a spar, they ran over excitedly, waiting for the passage to open. Most of the warriors who dared to come here were fearless, and were also hunters with blood on their blades. Those warriors who did not have any sects naturally could not compare to the elite disciples that those sects focused on training, but among these warriors, there were also many that were famous. After these warriors learned the devil-subduing method, they became much more confident and thought that the demon's head would be easier to obtain, so they came together. You little bastards, remember, don't break the heads of those monsters, and use them to exchange for spars. A middle-aged man warned a few young men. The young men nodded. The brains of fiendish demons were much easier to deal with than those of demonic beasts. These warriors had all come prepared. Before they had come, they had already known about these demons from the devil-subduing college, and they had all thought of some techniques to prevent them from suffering any calamities. However, when they saw the elite disciples of the various forces in mortal martial realm, they immediately felt that their competitiveness was very high. However, they knew that there would definitely be a lot of demonic chi cultivators at that time, and the number of demonic chi cultivators there would also be very limited. Xianxia also snuck into the group of warriors. He could not be with the super martial schools group. Another reason why those powers didn't want him was because he was too strong and could act alone. If he wasn't a burden to the team, then the team would be a burden to him, and teamwork was especially important. If Xianxia was with the rest of them, when he met the demon, he would definitely charge forward like a runaway horse. 3 days had passed, and more people gathered here, forming groups of 3 or 5. Xianxia also saw some of devil-subduing college's students and people. However, no one entered. Before these people came, they had already collected a lot of information, and if they went in now, it would be the most dangerous. Perhaps they might even be killed by the strong warriors of the demon and devil realms. However, everyone was extremely excited, because it wouldn't be long before they could make their move. If one was high in the sky, they would be able to see 3 enormous continents connected together. On the continents of the demon and devil realms, there was a very large spatial gate, and the continents of the other demon and devil realms could all pass through that continent that was connected to the mortal realm. Demon realms people are more difficult to deal with than evil demon of the demon realm, because devil cultivator of the demon realm look like humans. They can sneak into our ranks, and have intelligence similar to the human realm. Demon realms people are more difficult to deal with than evil demon of the demon realm, because devil cultivator of the demon realm look like humans. They can sneak into our ranks. If one wanted to enter the Great Devil Mountains, they would have to cross a field, and every day, there would be people standing on the plains, looking at the Great Devil Mountains that was filled with dense demonic chi. On the 10th day after the passage was opened, Xianxia suddenly noticed many things walking out from the Great Devil Mountains. Upon closer inspection, it was actually a few Devil Cultivator S and Evil Demon S. They lined up in a row. There were only 1,000 of them, making everyone extremely disappointed. This was because they had tens of thousands of people waiting here. This number was simply not enough for everyone. The demons have actually joined forces. It seems they have become a lot more rational. This isn't a good thing. Bai Yu said. In the past, the demon and devil realms was also hostile to each other, but now they could walk out together. At this moment, the elite disciples that had been sent out by the major powers had also walked out. There were several thousands of them. Xianxia watched the situation unfold from the side. What made him happy was that Yun Xiaodao, Zhu Rong, and the others were all at the late stage of the 100 refining realm. This kind of speed, in the eyes of normal people, was already considered fast. Is the human world that barbaric? Gathering so many people and trying to kill us all in one fell swoop? And then invade us? A tall man with long ears walked out. His eyes were bloodshot and his skin was fair. On the back of his hand, there was even some white fur. This is a rabbit demon with rabbit blood. It looks like the evolution of the demon world is pretty good. I wonder what kind of beauty is in the demon world. Will there be any other pleasures or thrills when you play with them? Long Shui laughed. The demon and devil realms had invaded the Chun martial continent before, and had lost a lot of people. If they did not attack, the Chun martial continent would not have retaliated, but now they called the human world barbaric, truly shameless. Of course, these were all events from 100,000 years ago. In these 100,000 years, any changes in the demon and devil realms would not be surprising. It was just that based on their surnames, it was hard to not be suspicious of them. Don't look at how small we are. If you want, we can start a war right now. You guys aren't enough for us to kill. The rabbit demon said with a faint smile. We naturally do not wish for a bloodbath. 100,000 years ago, you invaded our land and we retaliated against you righteously. The evidence is all in the great devil mountains behind you. The martial arts elder of continent of the king said. We don't deny that, but it is 100,000 years ago and the resources of our demon and devil realms have always been poor. The things that happened 100,000 years ago have proven that it was a mistake, so we cannot make that mistake again. The rabbit demon said. Originally, everyone had planned to fight a battle with them and use their heads to exchange for spar. But now, demon and devil realms was going to take a peaceful route. Of course, this was a good thing. However, everyone was still worried that there was a trick to it. Wu Kaming laughed. Then tell me, what method do you want to use to obtain our resources? We won't give it to you. At this time, a middle-aged man from the demon world said, Of course we won't let you give it to us. If we, the demon and devil realms, join hands, you people from the mortal realm would have no chance at all. Hearing this, everyone knew that the demon and devil realms would not walk the peaceful path. Opportunity, Wu Kaming sneered. We will give you a fair competition opportunity to prove that you are not worthy of these resources. The rabbit demon said. This made everyone curse. The resources in the human world were originally theirs. They didn't even know if they deserved it. What if we don't agree? From the beginning, Wu Kaming did not think that the demon and devil realms would walk a peaceful path. The rabbit demon said with a sinister laugh, If you don't agree, our demon and devil realms will join hands and defeat you, making you our slaves. Demon and devil realms was still the same as 100,000 years ago. However, he had become a little smarter and did not rush over to attack from the very beginning. Xianxia laughed coldly. Dogs can't stop themselves from eating feces. Why are you wasting words with them? Cut off all their heads. This kind of head is worth the most even if they can exchange for spar. Xianxia took the lead and jeered, causing the people to all shout and rush over. But they were suppressed by the elders from the continent of the king. The rabbit demon from the demon world said with a sneer, We want a peaceful solution to the conflict. If you want a war to break out, we'll keep you company any time. Xianxia did not believe that the demon and devil realms would be so kind. They lacked resources. No matter what, they would eventually invade the human world. An elder of the Wu clan asked, Then what do you want to do? The rabbit demon could tell at a glance that only those in uniform standing in front could make a decision. Those idle warriors were just making a lot of noise. We just want to see whether or not you mortal realm martial artists are worthy of the rich resources here. As for how we look at it, we can only see it through battle, and the method is not too harsh. Instead, it's us who are at a disadvantage. When the rabbit demon said this, a big man and a tiger-headed man came out from demon and devil realms. They seemed to be quite strong. We will only send 2 warriors out, and you can send 10 of them to fight against our 2 warriors one-on-one. As long as you defeat our 2 warriors, you can prove that you are qualified to enjoy the resources here. The middle-aged man from the demon world said, If you 10 warriors can't defeat our warriors, then you have to give us most of the resources. 10 against 2. As long as the other 2 warriors were placed on the ground, it would be considered as a win. Although it looked like demon and devil realms was indeed at a disadvantage, many people still did not believe in this kind of good thing. Rabbit, this is just what you said. The great leaders in your demon and devil realms have not come out. How can we believe you? You can represent the demon and devil realms? Xianxia said with a sneer. His voice had been altered before, so no one could hear him. Demon and devil realms only came out with a little more than 1,000 people. Although all of them looked to be quite strong, there were very few in the Nirvana stage, with only the rabbit demon and the middle-aged man who spoke being Nirvana stages. The rabbit demon seemed to be well prepared. He immediately said, We can represent the demon and devil realms. As long as you win, Our demon and devil realms guarantees that we won't invade your human world. You can rest assured on this point. How can you guarantee this? Xianxia snorted. Just based on what you said? The rabbit devil heart was a little angry, but still replied, it's up to you to believe me or not. If you guys want to fight, then we can start today. When the time comes, don't be barbaric. Xianxia finally understood the demon and devil realms' intentions. If they win, they can seize the resources because the human world has to keep their promise. If they lost, the demon and devil realms could act shamelessly and still start a war. This plan was not wrong, but they thought too highly of the human world. If they could delay the war, they would be able to make more adequate preparations. Moreover, they were in a 10 versus 2 situation, so they were confident that they could win. All right, we agree. I hope you can keep your promise when the time comes. The elder of the continent of the king said. At this time, the various large sects were all discussing which disciple to send, and naturally, the disciples of Nirvana stage couldn't go on stage because none of the opponents were Nirvana stage S. After a short discussion, the human world decided to send out those disciples who had mastered the art of suppressing demons. Xianxia did not know which 10 people he was supposed to send out, but now one of them walked out. Judging from his clothes, he should be a vain martial cultivators' leader, a vain martial cultivators. I didn't see that big sister Lan Lan. Isn't she qualified? Long Shui asked doubtfully. Both she and Yen Yenran did not come. It must be because they have other matters to attend to, Xianxia said. The rabbit demon said to the blue blood race of the blue blood race. You can choose either a warrior from the demon or demon realms. Lan Gang, who will choose the demon world? The clan elder of the blue blood race shouted. Lan Gang was a powerful-looking bearded man. Looking strong and full of power, he nodded and chose the warriors of the demon world. MOD. Have a good spar with your friend from the human world. The middle-aged man sneered. Right, dying in this battle is my responsibility, so it's best if you all admit defeat. The expression on the rabbit demon's face was as though they were certain to win. Lan Gang clenched his fists tightly. He was the first person to fight against Devil Cultivator, and he was under a lot of pressure because he knew nothing about this Devil Cultivator in front of him. It looks like that MOD belongs to the Demon Eye race. It's just that I don't know what eyes he has. No wonder they are so confident. The Demon Eye race is a treasure in the demon world's small world. Bai Yu said. The competition started. MOD was the first to attack. He started with his sturdy legs and started sprinting. The sturdy demon realm warrior looked like an angry bull, using his fastest speed, charging towards Lan Gang. Lan Gang was also a big guy, and his body was no smaller than MOD. Seeing MOD rushing towards him, his face was full of excitement. He waved his fist, which condensed a berserk innate chi, and just as he was about to punch out, he suddenly stopped for a moment. Right at that moment, MOD charged towards him with his fists together. Like two iron pillars, they collided onto Lan Gang's body. The devilish aura on MOD's body was extremely tyrannical. It could be seen how powerful that strike was as it blasted Lan Gang's huge body away. Lan Gang fell to the ground with 2 bloody holes on his body. The 2 punches from before had actually caused 2 bloody holes to appear on Lan Gang's body. Admit defeat. When the elder of the blue blood race saw MOD, he immediately shouted to MOD that Lan Gang could no longer fight. If this continued, he would only be beaten to death. The next disciple of the Lotus Island who would fight was also one of Lian Yingxiao's sons. His name was Lian Zhe, and like Lian Yingxiao, he was very handsome. When Lan had just punched out, he suddenly stopped, as if he was affected by something. The innate chi in his entire body suddenly stopped, which caused him to lose the protection of the innate chi, and caused him to be blasted with 2 bloody holes. Xianxia said, That's right, there are a lot of different kinds of demon eyes in the demon eye race. They have all kinds of different abilities and none of them are fixed in place, but they are all very useful, so the demon eye race is one of the strongest in devil race. Bai Yu said, MOD because everyone now understood MOD to a certain degree. It was because he knew how to use a type of strange technique that could make people suddenly stop and also have a wild power. Lian Zhe believed that as long as he preemptively attacked and used an extremely fast speed, he would not be afraid of being hit by that mysterious technique. However, just as Lian Zhe arrived in front of MOD and was about to attack, he suddenly stopped. Although it was just for a moment, his body was struck continuously by MOD's two terrifying fists, and in an instant he suffered hundreds of punches, causing the bones in his upper body to almost break. Once again, it was the same as before, heavily injuring the ground in a single move. MOD's violent strength caused many warriors who were spectating to feel their scalps go numb. Those disciples of the famous sects were all wearing powerful armors, but it was completely useless. Not only was MOD able to release a strange power that caused people to pause, his attack speed and power was also extremely terrifying. Lian Yingxiao quickly stopped. If not, his son would die in front of him. He took out a white jade lotus seed and placed it in Lian Zhe's mouth, stabilizing Lian Zhe's injuries. The third person was Wang Tianlin of the Great Eagle Continent and Great Eagle Sect, who was also the sect of Lan Hai and Blue Mountain. Lan Hai and Blue Mountain were both figures in the Huang Jintian era, and brothers as well. This time, he did not choose MOD, but chose to join the spirit demon realm with the tiger-headed man. The tiger-headed man was even taller than MOD and looked like a small giant. He was also very scary, with tiger fur on both of his arms and legs, but he stood there like a human. His head was also a fierce tiger head, and he had a very long and thick tail behind him. A weak person against such a big person made people feel that there was a huge disparity in strength. However, sometimes it wasn't just the difference in size. From the start of the battle, Wang Tianlin's entire person seemed to have disappeared. His originally timid gaze became extremely sharp and filled with killing intent, like a hungry falcon. It was as if his prey would never escape his eyes. Wang Tianlin suddenly jumped up and opened his arms, unexpectedly circling in the air like a hawk. Looking at his appearance, he could release innate chi wings. This kind of martial arts was indeed rare. All the martial artists there were envious. Wang Tianlin seized the opportunity and dove down. Like a bolt of lightning, his body was wrapped in the innate chi, as if it could pierce through the tiger-headed man's body. Looking at his aura, many people believed that Wang Tianlin had a high chance of winning, but just as he was about to approach the tiger-headed man, the innate chi around his body suddenly disappeared. Without the innate chi, Wang Tianlin was a weak scholar who fell head first into the arms of the tiger-headed man. The tiger-headed man was actually the same as MOD. He knew a special technique that could stop people in an instant. Furthermore, the innate chi would also disappear in an instant. But Xianxia's perspective was different. He thought that MOD was the culprit. MOD had the mysterious devil eyes. MOD had been staring straight at Wang Tianlin just now, and Wang Tianlin had actually lost his innate chi at that moment. Clearly he had been tricked by MOD. With such powerful demon eyes, he must be an elite sent by the demon eye race. Although the ancient spirit great land S of the ancient spirit great land say that they will not invade, but they will also secretly send out powerful devil cultivator S to infiltrate into the various demon realms and join forces with the demon realms to invade the human world. What kind of conspiracy does the devil race have? Bai Yu said seriously, 100,000 years ago, demon and devil realms did not have any schemes and tricks. They were to rush and kill the moment they appeared, but when it comes to tricks, they are much more powerful than the human world. The mortal realm martial artists were defeated one after another, and all of them were defeated in the blink of an eye. There was also a short pause. Xianxia removed her makeup and quietly went over to Wu Kaming's side, saying, "Let me go. Otherwise you will definitely lose." And also at this time, the 9th person lost and even lost an arm. The 10th person was originally Super Martial School's Yun Xiaodao, but Xianxia actually appeared at this time, causing Wu Kaming to be extremely surprised. "Elder brother Shin, you really came at a bad time. I really want to teach that big flowery cat a lesson." Yun Xiaodao laughed. "But since it's elder brother Shin who has taken action, then he will definitely let us see for ourselves." Xianxia laughed, then looked at Zhu Rong and the others, and said in a low voice, "Prepare yourself. If you guys see that I made any other moves, then charge forward." This group definitely had ill intentions. After Wu Kaming heard this, he frowned and said, "You're saying the method to make the innate chi disappear was done by MOD?" Xiang nodded his head. It's in MOD's eyes. You all have to pay attention to it later. If I destroy MOD's eyes and look at the reaction of those fellows in demon and devil realms, you all have to pay attention to that rabbit and that middle-aged man. Wu Kaming nodded his head. Go up. Now that you have entered the arena, the other forces will not oppose you. They have placed all their hopes on our super martial school. Seeing Xiang suddenly appear, the other big shots of the mortal martial realm sighed in their hearts. He already knew that not letting Xiang come was a mistake. But now that Xiang appeared, they could finally be at ease. Xiang was such a weirdo. It was rare to see him in the entire new world. But with that kind of power and powerful martial arts, it was difficult to find a second one. Xiang, the person wanted by the demon god order. You really appeared. The middle-aged man from the devil realm immediately shouted. You never said that you wouldn't allow me to go on stage, right? Xiang smiled slightly, then looked at, who was staring fixedly at that pair of eyes. That's the ancient wasteland devil sex demon god badge. Of course it has nothing to do with us. This ancient wasteland devil sect had a demon god, so they could issue a demon god order. As long as it was a subordinate force of the ancient wasteland devil sect or a territory under their jurisdiction, as long as they met a person wanted by the demon god order, they would be killed. Xiang chose to fight with MOD. As long as he destroyed MOD's demonic eye, the tiger-headed man would be easy to deal with. Haha. If I kill the person wanted by the ancient wasteland devil sect, I wonder what kind of expression the ancient wasteland devil sect will have. MOD laughed as he walked over. Seeing that Xiang was so famous in the demon world, everyone secretly admired him. They never thought that Xiang was actually so overbearing to the demon world, was also brimming with confidence. In his opinion, Xiang was the same as the others. As long as they were attacked by the mysterious devil eye, they could be beaten up by him. Anyone who was familiar with Xiang would know that they could not use common sense on Xiang, and even more so, could not be arrogant in front of him. Xiang didn't know how to deal with the demon eye right now, but he wasn't afraid, because his body was strong. With the protection of the profound wood diamond armor, even if he got beaten up, he wouldn't be seriously injured. Come, I'll let you attack me first. MOD laughed, thinking of how he was able to kill the person wanted by the demon god slaying token. He was extremely excited. Even if the opponent didn't let him, Xiang would still have attacked first. At the start, when he flew towards MOD, his speed wasn't very fast, but he wanted to see exactly what kind of demonic eye MOD had. Only by experiencing it for himself would he know how to deal with it. Although Xiang's speed was slow, the terrifying dragon power made MOD's heart feel as if it was hitting the heavens. He had begun to understand why the ancient wasteland devil sect would use the devil god badge to capture Xiang. Just by relying on such a terrifying power, he was able to match up to the recognized young experts of the devil race. However, MOD was not afraid at all, only that the corner of his mouth raised slightly. His eyes suddenly flashed, causing Xiang's expression to change slightly, because the innate chi in his body suddenly could not circulate at all, and the powerful condensed dragon power did not have the support of the innate chi, and disappeared accordingly. MOD's fist had already smashed over, striking Xiang's cheek. MOD thought that he could enjoy the pleasure of Xiang's face being smashed into pieces, but he did not expect that Xiang would suddenly turn his head, and the moment the tip of his foot touched the ground, he nimbly bounced up and down, and actually dodged MOD's berserk attack that was brewing. That was close. Xiang's physical body was strong in the first place, and when fighting with Huang Jintian frequently, he would often encounter situations where he was unable to use the innate chi. Thus he was able to react in time and use his physical body's power to dodge the attacks. As expected, Xiang did not disappoint. The 9 people from before were defeated in the same situation, but Xiang was able to avoid them. MOD's pupils contracted fiercely. Xiang had actually escaped his attack because in his opinion, if the innate chi couldn't be used, both his reaction speed and speed would be extremely slow. That feeling is as though the innate chi has been paralyzed. Fortunately, old lunatic trained me in that area before. Xiang told it to buy Yuyu. It's the eye, but there are usually 2 types of it. One is to numb the body, and the other is to numb the energy flow within the body, such as the innate chi. Bai Yu said, "This MOD should be the second type." MOD was a little angry, and he immediately rushed over, at the same time glaring at Xianxia. Xianxia knew that MOD would usually use his demon eyes at the most crucial moments to release that kind of invisible energy to attack him. Xianxia secretly laughed, his body suddenly trembling. A burst of water vapor suddenly appeared, filling Xianxia's surroundings with a white fog, causing him to be extremely shocked, because he had lost his target. Xianxia's move Fog Sky was very familiar to the strong warriors. It was the technique that Xianxia used back then, to the hero tournament, where he escaped before the eyes of the strong warriors. MOD couldn't see Xianxia, so he couldn't use his demon eye to attack. This made him anxious, and when he was going crazy, bam 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 bam, the sound of 9 rapid thunderclaps consecutively resounded in all directions, shaking the sky and layer upon layer of thunderbolts. The outburst of chi also blew away the white mist. MOD's eyes were bloodshot as he staggered backwards, letting out roars of rage due to the pain and fear. Xianxia had just unleashed 2 punches, both of them using the power of the 9th level of the Devil Subduing method. The Devil Subduing method could feel that the demon energy in MOD's body had become even more berserk, and the power had increased by more than 2-fold. Seeing MOD's injured eyes, the face of the rabbit demon and the middle-aged man both changed. MOD was their backing, and could allow them to battle victoriously, but the demon eye that MOD was so proud of had been destroyed. As long as the opponent did not shout for him to lose, Xianxia would still be able to attack. Devil Suppressing Fist. When Xianxia punched, the surrounding space became extremely unstable, but the transparent energy that gushed out from Xianxia's fist was visible to the naked eye. The struggling energy was like a demon that had fallen into a furnace. Xianxia's devil-suppressing fist used the devil-suppressing holy power. It was much stronger than other people's devil-suppressing chi, and the might of the devil-suppressing fist was also extremely tyrannical. As he punched out, the demons trembled. The power of this punch caused the demons to feel as though they were in hell. With a hong sound, Xianxia's fist landed on MOD's chest, causing him to instantly transform into a cloud of black powder, and dissipated into the air along with the wind. Dead. Everyone inhaled a breath of cold air. The MOD, who seemed to be a victor of hundreds and thousands of battles, was now reduced to dust with just 1 punch from Xianxia. The people from the human world had long known that Xianxia was a very powerful fellow and were still shocked. As for the evil demon S and devil cultivator S, they were even more shocked and terrified. This was because the strength Xianxia had shown just now had caused them to feel uneasy in their hearts. Fierce demon martial arts. He did not expect that the people on the mortal realm side would be able to learn the demon-subduing martial technique that they feared the most. This was extremely disadvantageous to them. Xianxia's expression was calm. He looked at the tiger-headed man, and the corners of his mouth raised slightly, causing the tiger-headed man's heart to tremble. The tiger-headed man was very clear that without MOD's help, he would be nothing but trash in front of Xianxia. If not for MOD, he would have been defeated a long time ago. "You're next." Xianxia rubbed his fists as he stared at the tiger-headed man. As long as he defeated the tiger-headed man, even if demon and devil realms lost, according to what they said, if he lost he would not invade the human world. However, no one believed them. The tiger-headed man did not want to fight. But after seeing the gloomy expression of the rabbit demon, he had no choice but to bite the bullet. "Begin." The tiger-headed man let out a wild tiger roar. It sounded extremely terrifying, and then he rushed towards Xianxia, who had already gathered his energy, waiting to test the demonic cultivation skills he had learnt. When used on Devil Cultivator, the Devil-Suppressing Fist had a very terrifying effect. But when one hears the name, the Devil-Suppressing Fist was only used against Devil Cultivator. I wonder if it would have any effect on the demon's body. The tiger-headed man rushed over. The gigantic tiger claw slammed down. The force released caused a huge crater to appear, but Xianxia was able to dodge skillfully, at the same time punching the tiger-headed man in the abdomen. After the fist collided with the tiger-headed man's body, it produced a loud bang. After the tiger-headed man's body suffered the combined power of the devil-suppressing holy power and its energy attack, he instantly turned into ashes. The deaths of MOD and the tiger-headed man greatly reduced the morale of the 1,000+ demons in the demon and devil realms. MOD and the tiger-headed man were the stronger of them all, but now, they had been beaten into a pile of ashes. Xianxia's demon impression was deeply imprinted in their hearts, causing them to not dare to look at Xianxia directly. It was not because he was angry over the loss of a tiger-headed man, but because Xianxia had destroyed their plans. With just a little bit more, their plans would be completed, and they would not have to suffer any losses in order to obtain a lot of resources. When their overall strength far surpassed the human world, the invasion and enslavement of the human race would be as easy as flipping his palm. But now, all of his plans had been destroyed by Xianxia, who was extremely powerful and had rich battle experience. Watching the 9 battles from the side, he had already gained some clues. The demons now understood that those who were wanted by the demon god badge definitely could not be underestimated. Even in the demon world, there weren't many devil cultivator that were wanted by the demon god badge. The devil heart was filled with rage. A trace of black chi suddenly appeared in his palm. He lightly waved his hand, and the black chi transformed into an arrow that shot towards Xianxia, accurately hitting his throat. "Be careful!" Just as Long Shui shouted out, Xianxia felt a pain in his throat, as if he was bitten by a mosquito. He immediately used his hand to cover the wound on his throat where the chi arrow had hit. Xianxia looked at the black chi that was slowly seeping into his skin and felt his heart getting angry. He anxiously looked around because the black chi was a very strong poison gas. He never thought that someone would actually plot against him. "It's coming from the rabbit demon. It was the rabbit that attacked you." Although she could discover it, she could not let Xianxia avoid it in time. The fact that the rabbit demon dared to secretly shoot an arrow in front of so many mortal realm rankers showed just how much it hated Xianxia. When Xianxia saw the rabbit demon now, the rabbit demon's face was filled with a pleased smile. The complacent smile on the rabbit demon's face suddenly froze, because Xianxia did not die from the poison. The time for the poison to take effect should have already started, but Xianxia was still able to stand there and stare at him. Even some of the Nirvana stage's poisonous demons would feel that their lives were better off than death, let alone a human brat. This made him unable to believe it, and more poisonous gas began to condense in his palm, shooting straight at Xianxia's arrow that was condensed from the poisonous gas. This time, the poison arrow was slightly bigger than the previous ones. Just because it was bigger, it was discovered by some experts with good eyes. When Xianxia stared at the rabbit demon, the experts felt that something was wrong, so they just looked at Xianxia. This time, Xianxia used his palm to grab onto the poison arrow, and the rabbit demon immediately reacted, because he saw many pairs of eyes staring at him. What a powerful poison! In fact, he didn't even know if this dually was strong. Even if the magical corruption gas had entered his body, he would not have been able to feel its power. "Junior Marshal Uncle, what did this guy do to you?" Wu Kaming became anxious and appeared beside Xianxia in a flash. "Nothing, this poison can't hurt me. This rabbit coalesced the poison gas into a gas arrow and then attacked me from the shadows." Xianxia said each word. His voice was filled with killing intent and anger. His right hand also released a burst of cyan light aura. The god-slaying saber that beheaded demons appeared. The invisible chi that caused the demons to feel uncomfortable spread out, causing them to uncontrollably shiver. Hearing Xianxia's words, Wu Kaming immediately glared at the group of spirit demon beings. Yun Xiaodao and the others were also furious. They took out their weapons. "You barbarians! What are you trying to do?" Seeing that something was wrong, the rabbit demon shouted loudly. "What do you want? I will chop off your hair's head." Xianxia roared. At the moment he was brimming with killing intent. Maybe it was because the green dragon demon-slain broadsword sensed a large amount of spirit demon chi that infected him. The killing intent that erupted from Xianxia's body spread out rapidly, enveloping the entire plane, causing the demons to become even more afraid. Xianxia was the first to bear the brunt of the attack. Surprisingly, he did not cower just because the rabbit demon was a Nirvana stage. Seeing that, Wu Kaming rushed forward quickly. Yun Xiaodao, Zhu Rong and the others knew that such a thing would happen, And even though they were prepared, they were not afraid at all as they wielded their weapons and rushed towards the demons. Flatten them. It was unknown who shouted, but those warriors, who had been waiting for a long time, rushed up like a swarm of bees. The giants and disciples of the other forces also had no choice but to rush up at this moment. Otherwise they would be called weak by others. Seeing the tens of thousands of warriors majestically charging towards her, the rabbit demon was dumbfounded. Just their majestic stature was enough for him to not have the courage to fight back. Xianxia and Wu Kaming were the first to reach the center of the group of spirit demons. With a slash of his blade, the force emitted from his divine blade cut through 10 evil demonesses like sharp sickles. The rabbit demon initially wanted to use all of his strength to kill Xianxia, but after considering the fact that Xianxia had many experts from the Nirvana stage backing him, if he did not escape quickly, the only thing he could do was die. Xianxia, remember this, the rabbit demon said as he gnashed his teeth. Then, he turned into a streak of white lightning and shot towards Great Devil Mountains. Xianxia snorted. He brandished his divine blade angrily, and wherever he went, evil demon's body would be slashed into pieces by the furious blade chi. The spirit chi above the green dragon demon-slain broadsword also caused the evil demoness to fall into despair. At this time, Yun Xiaodao and the others had already rushed over. Without a word, blades and swords danced in the air, blood splattering everywhere. Killing the evil demon made them scream in despair, but Devil Cultivator still tried to retaliate, but he was beaten into meat paste by the powerful Nirvana stage warriors. These thousands of demons were simply not a match for the human world. With just a single charge, they were all killed. Corpses covered the field and the ground was covered in red blood. Where's the elder brother Shin? Yun Xiaodao looked around, but did not see Xianxia. The junior martial uncle entered the Great Devil Mountains. He said that he would go in and check the situation. Wu Kaming said he was not too worried about Xianxia. The Nirvana stage's middle-aged Devil Cultivator and the Rabbit Demon could escape in time. Otherwise, they would also be killed. This bastard actually dares to plot against me. Normally, I was the one who plotted against others, but now that I've been plotted against by someone, I definitely can't let this sinister fellow return alive. It's too dangerous. Xianxia thought. We can't believe the words of the demons. They don't have any credibility to speak of. We have to be wary of them, and now we can strengthen our defenses. Wu Kaming frowned as he looked at the furious Great Devil Mountains, the bridge that connected all the demon and devil realms to the sky. Although the demonic passageway had been opened, the demons still did not immediately rush over. Instead, they were using tactics, and this was also the situation that the experts did not want to see the most. The rabbit demon's speed of escape was extremely fast, and he had a pair of powerful legs. When he was escaping, he would bounce and jump quickly, and in a few moments, he would enter the Great Devil Mountains. But no matter how fast the rabbit demon was, it was not as fast as Long Shui's Heaven Tour method. The rabbit demon was always being watched by Long Shui, who was also chasing the rabbit demon at full speed. This rabbit demon should have only just reached Nirvana realm, which is why it has a human face. Only evil demon, who has completely turned sincere, is the most powerful one. Bai Yu said. Xianxia was not afraid of the evil demon that had just reached the Nirvana realm. If he could not defeat it, he would use the last trump card that the magical corruption gas used. Let alone this level of evil demon, even a fully human evil demon would be terrified of the magical corruption gas. Originally, he was more worried about who the powerful mortal realm rankers were following. However, he quickly realized that Xianxia was the only one, and he could tell that Xianxia's strength had not reached the Nirvana stage. Otherwise, it would be even more terrifying. Is this human brat an idiot? You're too arrogant, daring to challenge me with such little strength. The rabbit demon immediately stopped. In this Great Devil Mountains shrouded in black clouds, the rabbit immediately felt a boost in confidence. That familiar demonic aura caused the blood in his body to become extremely active. Thinking that Xianxia had destroyed their plan and killed the over 1,000 demons they brought along, the rabbit devil heart's anger rose to new heights. This was not the first time Xianxia had entered the Great Devil Mountains. He had been to the most dangerous places in the Great Devil Mountains, so he was naturally not afraid of the demonic aura here. Xianxia was not surprised to see the rabbit demon waiting for him. "You're quite brave, to actually dare to charge into the Great Devil Mountains alone, you arrogant fellow." However, when he saw Xianxia summon his green dragon demon-slain broadsword, he immediately became vigilant. The aura Xianxia released was the same as the aura released from the devil-suppressing holy power. It was able to make demons fear him and cause multiple times the damage. "Damn rabbit, you want to plot against me? You're still too inexperienced." Xianxia slashed his blade out, and the ground beneath his feet started to shake slightly. The dragon power poured into the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and was then converted into an even more powerful demon slayer by the countless array formations within the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. As this violent slash came slashing over, lightning suddenly flashed in the sky. The saber chi was like 5 bolts of lightning that rumbled as it released bursts of lightning that enveloped the rabbit demon. The strike was too fast. The rabbit monster had no time to dodge and could only release an air shield to protect itself. With an explosive boom, the divine saber hacked down on the chi barrier released by the rabbit demon. The rabbit demon felt as if he was being pressed down by millions of pounds of energy, and the large piece of ground beneath his feet had crumbled into powder. The green dragon demon-slain broadsword would become heavier along with the master's strength. Just now, Xianxia had used a very strong power, so the weight of the green dragon demon-slain broadsword became millions of kilograms, and with a single slash, the pressure from the million kilograms would be extremely terrifying. If not for the rabbit demon possessing the strength of the Nirvana stage, being able to use the powerful demonic energy in his body to form a shield to protect himself, he would have ended up like the dust that was left behind. Xianxia's slash caused the Great Devil Mountains to be greatly shocked, and even the rabbit demon was extremely shocked by Xianxia's slash. "It's not over yet." As Xianxia said this, he chopped out with his blade at lightning speed. His strength was actually stronger than before, and when the blade cut down, a large area of the ground fell down, making him terrified. This was because the strength Xianxia displayed could kill him. His eyes suddenly turned red. The anger in his entire body ignited. The anger caused his power to suddenly soar, and ignited his dragon power and the devil-suppressing holy power, turning his anger into strength. This was the key point of the dragon-slaying 7-killing slash. The angry dragon slay, angry slash, the tyrannical power released waves of furious roars. The earth trembled. The black cloud formed by the demon chi in the sky churned, as though the entire world had changed color from the angry dragon's slash. "Don't even think about killing me." With a roar, the rabbit demon released all the energy in its body and focused it on the energy shield to increase its defense. Right now, it could not retaliate at all. If it did not focus on defense, it would definitely be stabbed. Several tall mountains in the Great Devil Mountains immediately collapsed as deep cracks suddenly appeared on the ground, resembling spider webs. As for the place where the rabbit demon and Xianxia were at, it had even turned into the bottom of a 300-meter-wide crater. The rabbit demon looked at Xianxia, who had been repelled by the impact of the attack, and gasped in surprise. What a terrifying kid. That blade strike just now should have been his limit. The anger on Xianxia's body disappeared, but the 1,200,000 Jinun granule were still flashing. His innate chi was extremely dense, and his dantian was screaming in rage. "Humph!" Xianxia let out a low snort, causing people to feel that the calm coast was suddenly filled with waves of gigantic waves, and the shaking of the ground made the rabbit demon feel as if he was deep inside a rippling ocean. Song Lang Slash, one of the dragon-slaying 7 killing strikes, combined with dragon power and green dragon demon-slain broadsword, it could unleash an overturning power. The smile on the rabbit demon's face suddenly froze. He gritted his teeth and quickly channeled all the energy in his body, cursing Xianxia in his heart. With the slash of the saber, a torrent of power gushed out from the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, forming a terrifying pressure that struck into the surroundings. This was originally a pit, but now it had become flat ground. "Are you done yet?" The rabbit demon roared angrily, but Xianxia's reply was a blade. Angry dragon slay. He was able to withstand Xianxia's first second and third blade, but Xianxia kept on hacking and chopping madly, as if the innate chi was worthless. He unreservedly released it all onto the three violent and terrifying slashes of the angry dragon slay. Song Lang slash and Thunder slash continuously slashed at the body of the rabbit demon. This was the first time Xianxia released his innate chi to his heart's content since he had stepped into the 100 refining realm and engaged in battle. Xianxia was not exhausted from the hundreds of consecutive slashes, but the rabbit demon had already chopped off one of its arms. It was unknown just how many times it had turned a huge piece of land. Are all humans so strong? The demonic energy within the rabbit demon's body had already been completely used up, and its body was also suffering from the devastating shock. No, but it's about time, Xianxia said indifferently. This made the rabbit demon immediately spurt out a mouthful of blood. You guys are really weak. Xianxia slashed again with his blade, but the slash was very gentle, because this was the heart-shocking slash during the dragon-slaying 7 slaughtering slash. The rabbit demon's heart had already been smashed by Xianxia earlier. If it was a human who had just entered the nirvana stage, just by relying on that kind of dense and vigorous innate chi was enough to counterattack when defending, they simply could not allow Xianxia to unleash that kind of terrifying attack one after another. Of course, the reason why the Rabbit Demon Association lost was also because Xianxia had the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword and Devil-Suppressing Holy Power. Xianxia put away the Divine Blade and waved his fist at his body. The Devil-Subduing Method and the Devil-Suppressing Holy Power mixed together and crazily ravaged the Rabbit Demon, causing it to let out painful howls. That's enough, let's see what he has in mind, Bai Yuyu said. Just as Xianxia was about to use soul-absorbing devil spell, Long Shui suddenly shouted, "Dodge quickly! There's danger!" Hearing Long Shui's warning, Xianxia hurriedly dodged. At the same time, an explosive sound exploded and the rabbit demon's body was blown into pieces by the ball of air that was filled with devil aura. Xianxia immediately turned his head and saw a middle-aged man dressed in black standing on top of a huge rock in the distance. This man was the middle-aged man from the demon world, and his strength was greater than the rabbit demon's. Don't try to force him to say anything, the big man sneered. Cui Sha, you were actually watching me all this while, and why didn't you save me? The rabbit demon's head could still talk, but it was kicked to pieces by the middle-aged man called Cui Sha. If I save you, then I can't capture this brat alive. I still have to thank you for draining this brat's power for me. Cui Sha laughed. Now, Xianxia finally understood why the devil realm was so much more difficult to deal with than the demon realm. The devil cultivator of the devil realm was even more cunning than their allies. Capture me alive? Xianxia was actually not afraid at all. That blade of yours is good stuff, but I know that you won't obediently hand it over. So, I can only grab onto you and try to find a way for you to hand it over. Cui Sha laughed sinisterly. For example, Xianxia's Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword, they were not easy to snatch, because they were connected to Xianxia's body, so Cui Sha could see through this. Xianxia hastily jumped up and left the giant pit he created and flew towards a forest far away. His strength was far stronger than the rabbit demon's, and he had used up most of his innate chi, so he could no longer sustain a battle. You can't escape, said with a smile. Xianxia escaping meant that he no longer had any strength left, and since they were deep inside the Great Devil Mountains, Xianxia was unable to escape for a while. When Xianxia was flying away, he took out a 5 elements Profound Dan and ate it. This was a high-grade ground-level pill. Not only could it recover its strength, it could also increase the strength of the innate chi. In the dark forest, Xianxia ran as fast as he could. Cui Sha felt that Xianxia was just running away, so he was not in a hurry to kill Xianxia, he was just leisurely killing him. He just felt that it was extremely strange, because Xianxia's speed was extremely fast. Even if Cui Sha raised his speed to the maximum, it would only be able to shorten the distance between them by a little. This guy really thinks that he will catch me. Xianxia laughed coldly in his heart. Then he suddenly flashed behind a large tree, quickly turned into a black little flying insect, withdrew his aura, and quickly flew away. Cui Sha suddenly lost his target, and angrily smashed the tree to pieces. He then searched everywhere for Xianxia, and Xianxia also followed him secretly. Xianxia could not let this Cui Sha return alive. This kind of treacherous devil cultivator would cause great harm to the human world sooner or later. Hiding in the dense treetops, Xianxia returned to his human form and took out the death-haunting arrow S. Afterwards, he released the magical corruption gas S that he compressed in his dantian a little bit, and then used the death-haunting arrow S to condense an arrow of air to aim at the distant Cui Sha. My poison is much stronger than that rabbit's. Xianxia chuckled in his heart and released the arrow. Last time, the leader of the Thunder Heaven School was killed like this by Xianxia, so this Cui Sha's strength was far weaker than the leader. Cui Sha felt something strike his body, and then he felt a corrosive substance gushing into his body. He was immediately shocked, because he knew that it was a magical corruption gas. Cui Sha immediately channeled his energy within his body to suppress the magical corruption gas that were moving around, or else he would have turned into purple-black rotten flesh. After knowing that he had been infected by the super-old poison, Cui Sha's face turned pale white, and his forehead was covered in sweat. The people of the demon world all knew about the power of magical corruption gas, and even though this kind of super-old poison was forbidden in the demon world, there were still some even more vicious devil cultivator that used it. Right at this moment, Xianxia walked over with a smile. In the dark forest, Xianxia's smiling face looked like the person who took him away from hell. The taste of the magical corruption gas must be terrible. Xianxia laughed as he opened his palm, revealing a ball of black qi that jumped about playfully on his palm. The muscles on Cui Sha's face twitched frantically. The fact that Xianxia could control this kind of magical corruption gas and release it as he pleased caused him to be extremely shocked. A fellow who could control magical corruption gases was something that the world could not tolerate. Cui Sha now knew the terror of Xianxia. Let me tell you, this magical corruption gas is inside the Great Devil Mountains. There are a lot of them down there, but the demon and devil sinkhole is sealed by us, but as long as we remove the seal, Xianxia said slowly, his hand also pressing on Cui Sha's head. Cui Sha was shocked. There was actually a large amount of this stuff in the Great Devil Mountains. If it was released, then a large number of demons that were stationed there would definitely die. What are you doing? Ah! Soul-absorbing devil spell. How could you? Ah! Cui Sha had a headache, because Xianxia used the soul-absorbing devil spell to brutally plunder his memories. Cui Sha was extremely shocked, and wanted to perish together with Xianxia, who knew that the moment he stopped suppressing the magical corruption gas, his entire body started to rot. His meridians could not withstand the immense power, so he was unable to attack Xianxia. Xianxia already got what he wanted to know, and Cui Sha also became a purple-black rotten corpse. It was extremely terrifying. After burning Cui Sha's body to ashes, Xianxia faintly smiled, because he had obtained very important information from Cui Sha's memories. Devil race, sure enough, you guys are in charge of everything. Dogs can't stop themselves from eating shit. Xianxia sneered. The demon world and demon world were all like the mortal realm, with many different worlds merged together, while the entire new demon world was ruled by the devil race. Previously, the big shots of the devil race were trying to gain fame in the human world, but they wouldn't take the initiative to invade. This was one of their schemes. The commotion caused by Xianxia and the rabbit demon during the battle was not small, and had already alarmed the demons that were deeper inside. However, the demons did not check because they felt that it would be safer inside the Great Devil Mountains. Walking out of the dim forest, Long Shui suddenly sensed a group of devil cultivator approaching him. There were a total of 50 to 60 people, but their strength were all not bad. When Long Shui just discovered this group of devil cultivator, Xianxia had already seen them, and these devil cultivators seemed to know he was here as they quickly ran over. It's you! Xianxia was not surprised. The two people he saw were the devil race's two people who would never invade the mortal world, but they were only the young man. From Cui Sha's memories, Xianxia knew that the young man was called Moe, and was the eldest young master of the devil race's patriarch. He had the orthodox Mo clan bloodline, and was even more noble than the demonic I clan. Was extremely surprised. He did not expect to meet Xianxia here. Previously, he and his father had declared that they would not invade the human world, but now he had appeared in the Great Devil Mountains. Xianxia had crippled 5 of Moe's proud subordinates, who were also from the Demon Eye clan, and this was something that Moe had always kept in mind. Now that Xianxia was here alone, Moe could only kill him. Shueisha didn't know too much, but this Moe definitely knew a lot. Xianxia was secretly excited. He didn't think that this Moe would deliver himself to his doorstep at this time. Aren't you from ancient spirit great land? Why did he come to this place? Or did you come out from the depths of Great Devil Mountains? Haha, I knew that you guys had some tricks up your sleeves, and it's really true. You guys can't be trusted at all. Xianxia laughed. He was not afraid, which surprised Moe. Humph, since you've already caught sight of me, I definitely can't let you leave here alive, Moe sneered. Xianxia sarcastically retorted. Dogs don't change their way of eating shit. Now you admit that you guys are scheming against the human world. Moe said. So what? You don't have the chance to report it. Kill him, Moe shouted, and then retreated. He did not plan to do it himself. Seeing Moe give the order, Xianxia grabbed the air. The green dragon demon-slain broadsword suddenly appeared, holding the divine blade tightly in his hand. It spun in place, then spat out waves of dragon power chi, wanting to create a huge pressure of millions of gene that formed into a tornado and pulled all of the incoming Devil Cultivator into the tornado. Devil Cultivator's physical body was very strong, but he couldn't withstand the pressure. In just an instant, those dozens of powerful Devil Cultivator were crushed to death. Previously, when Xianxia had consumed the 5 elements profound Dan, his innate chi had recovered very quickly. As long as the other party was not from the Nirvana stage, he would have more than enough strength to deal with them. One had to know that out of his 50 to 60 subordinates, which one wasn't battle-worn. Which one of them wouldn't make others tremble with fear in the devil realm. Yet, in front of Xianxia they were all instantly killed. On the contrary, he was extremely excited because he felt that he had finally met a powerful opponent. Even in the devil realm, it was very difficult for him to have the chance to fight against someone who was on par with him. Even if he faced a devil cultivator who had just entered the Nirvana stage, he had a certain chance of winning. You are really strong. Moe's handsome and ice-cold face was completely calm as he took out a very long black stick. This item should be at the same level as Immortal equipment, Bai said. So what if it was a celestial item? Xianxia's green dragon demon-slain broadsword was a godly weapon. But if the opponent had very strong power, even if Xianxia had a godly blade, he would not be able to easily cut off the weapon. You want to kill me? Moe looked into Xianxia's eyes and asked. That's because you want to kill me. I can see that you have some skills too. Xianxia smiled faintly. You don't understand the world of demons. Otherwise you would never have thought like this. You would only feel fear towards me. I am indeed surprised that you could kill my subordinates. But you must know that in my eyes, they are nothing more than a bunch of dogs. Moe's voice was ice-cold, carrying a hint of arrogance. Aren't you a member of the orthodox bloodline in the devil race? Xianxia said. Xianxia actually knew all this. Moe frowned. Seems like you know quite a lot. Bai was an expert of the heavenly demon realm. One must know that the heavenly demon realm was a powerful, high-grade world that could be compared with the heaven realm. I also know that the group of demons behind Great Devil Mountains want to listen to your devil race. I also know that you're already 600 years old this year. Xianxia laughed. Xianxia could clearly see Moe's identity from that Shueisha's memories. In the world of demons, Moe was one of the few, the strongest existence beneath the Nirvana stage. Then you killed the rabbit and Shueisha? Moe raised his eyebrows. He was not surprised that Xianxia had killed the rabbit demon, but he was very clear about Shueisha's strength. Of course, Xianxia would not be so vigilant of him, he laughed. I was the one who killed him, but I didn't do anything. That rabbit's poison is really strong. I was just using it a little. Moe laughed coldly. I knew this idiot would do bad things. His poison is indeed enough to poison Shueisha to death. But you were the one who killed the rabbit demon, right? It wouldn't be difficult to get something out of this guy's mouth. Both the rabbit demon and Shueisha did not go back, and because the Great Devil Mountains made such a big commotion, Moe brought people out to investigate. Xianxia laughed and said, It's about that. Moe laughed out loud. Then you will definitely lose today. You must have consumed quite a lot of your strength in your battle with the rabbit demon. Following Moe's wild laughter, the demonic chi in the air surged, and actually descended from the sky, entering Moe's body, causing his originally thin body to grow larger, ripping off his clothes, revealing his sinister and terrifying muscles. Xianxia retreated a few steps. The demonic aura that rushed into the sky was extremely strong, like a hurricane. But Xianxia was not afraid. He cultivated the demon-subduing martial art. He had the green dragon demon-slaying broadsword, and that was the same as slaying demons. If he was afraid, he would lose all these powers. You're only SOSO, and you're actually using this kind of power. But don't think that I'll be afraid of you just because of this. Xianxia sneered. Moe roared, holding the black rod. He smashed it towards Xianxia's head, producing a strong pressure that tore apart the ground. If Xianxia was not able to dodge in time, his head might even explode.